They're not just old cars. They're stories on wheels, waiting to be rescued. From dusty barn finds to rusty convertibles with clean titles, these 10 vintage classics are time machines priced for the bold. Whether it's a 64.5 Mustang, a 1965 Pontiac ragtop, or a long-forgotten Ford Wagon, these aren't showroom queens. They're real projects with real soul. And the best part? Most are under $3,000. If you've got tools, vision, or just a soft spot for true antique metal, these next 10 vehicles might be the start of your next great build. Let's take a look. 1. 1960 Chevy Bel Air. Here's a 4-door slice of early 60s Americana for just $2,000. This 1960 Chevy Bel Air isn't running at the moment, but the body looks surprisingly clean for a project car at this price. It's got a manual transmission, a clean title, and most importantly, no significant structural damage. The windshield's cracked, the seats are worn out, and yes, you'll need a trailer. But the bones look solid, and the chrome trim is still hanging in there. Whether you're building a cruiser or just chasing nostalgia, this Bel Air's got the look. You want to act fast, though. The seller's not answering, "Is this available?" messages. So if it's listed, it's live. Two, 1966 Ford Mustang. This next one is rough, but the price, even rougher, in a good way. It's a 1966 Ford Mustang Coupe, reportedly still carrying its original 289 V8 and automatic transmission. The seller believes it's all matching numbers. Now let's be clear, this one's a battle-scarred veteran. The floor and trunk are completely gone, and the hood's barely hanging on. But the trim and glass, still intact. This is either a parts goldmine or a full-on resurrection job, depending on your level of commitment. At $1,000 or best offer, this might be the cheapest gateway into the Mustang world right now. The seller's also open to trades, so get creative. Maybe you've got something he needs more than this once proud pony. 3. 1965 Chevrolet Corvair. This white 1965 Corvair 4-door hardtop is more than just a quirky survivor. It's running, stopping, and packed with rare factory features like air conditioning and vinyl top. Under the rear deck lid sits a 110 HP flat 6 mated to an automatic transmission, and the car has been upgraded with a dual master cylinder, Pertronix ignition, internally regulated alternator, and even an aftermarket AC compressor. Sure, there's some rust creeping in and the tires are shot, but the floors and trunk are solid. The 14-inch Oldsmobile rally wheels give it a bit of flair, and with just 53,000 miles showing, this might be one of the more roadworthy options on today's list. It's listed at $3,000 or best offer, and the seller's motivated, so you might be able to score this air-cooled classic for even less. 4. 1969 Mercury Montego sedan. Here's a big-body Mercury with an unusual twist. It actually runs and drives. This 1969 Montego 4-door sedan has just 60,000 miles on the odometer and comes with some recent upgrades. New brakes, a new distributor, and a freshly tuned attitude. The catch is, it needs a radiator and tires before it's ready to roll more than just around the block. But for $2,500 or best offer, you're looking at a lot of metal for the money. If you've got a soft spot for full-size Fords and Mercurys from the late 1960s, this one's worth a look, especially if you want something different from the usual Galaxy or LTD. 5. 1966 Morris Minor 1000. Now here's something you don't see every day on this side of the pond. A 1966 Morris Minor 1000. Brown on brown and about as British as warm beer and foggy mornings, this classic compact is showing just 42,000 miles and comes with a clean title. It hasn't been started this year, but the seller says it runs and drives. It just doesn't stop. The brakes need work, but otherwise it's not far from being a charming little Sunday cruiser or cars and coffee conversation piece. At $2,200 and located in Louisville, this one's a conversation starter at every stoplight, or a sleeper hit for the right restoration enthusiast. Six, 1965 Pontiac Catalina convertible. What we've got here is a real piece of vintage Americana and a whole lot of rust. This 1965 Pontiac Catalina convertible is complete, but not exactly cruise-ready. The rear end is half torn out, the body's seen better decades, and you'll definitely need a winch to load it. Thankfully, the seller's got a bobcat to help with that. Now, before you run off, there's good news. It comes with a clean Michigan title and the numbers match. That's huge for a project like this. No parting out, no stripping. It's being sold as one solid slice of 1965 steel. If you got the skills and the vision, this could be a rewarding resurrection. Number 7. 1966 Chevrolet Corvair Corsa. Here's one you don't see often, especially not in coupe form. This 1966 Corvair Corsa is a time capsule that's been sitting since 1982. It shows just under 75,000 miles, and the current owners tinkered with a 400 CFM AFB 4-barrel carb. It'll start, but the carbs need love. What's impressive is the haul that comes with it. The original turbo setup, 4 single-barrel carbs, multiple transaxles, spare doors, and a pile of other parts. If you've been looking for a Corsa project or a rare air-cooled GM to wrench on, this is a package deal worth digging into. Located in Texas, priced to move. Number 8. 1969 Ford Country Sedan Wagon. Here's a long roof classic that's begging for a comeback. It's a 1969 Ford Country Sedan Wagon, mostly rust-free, minus some floor pan trouble. It's got a 302 under the hood, condition unknown, and no title, so you'll want to check your state's rules for registration before making a move. That said, the body's surprisingly straight. The hood's included, albeit with bent corners, and this is the kind of full-size Ford you don't stumble across every day. The seller's open to trades too, especially for old Chevy projects. If you're dreaming of a retro family hauler or a wild wagon build, this might be your launch point. Number 9. 1964.5 Ford Mustang. Yep, this one's a 64.5, a first-year Mustang and one of the originals that helped launch the pony car craze. It's got a straight 6 under the hood and reportedly will run with just a battery. No promises, but it sounds like a pretty simple revival. Cosmetically, it needs help. The doors and fenders have rust and the brakes need work before you're hitting the road. But with red paint, a black interior, and the classic coupe lines, it's got the bones of something special. Asking $2,800 or best offer. Bring tools, vision, and maybe a trailer. Number 10. 1969 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Royale. Big body, big attitude, big potential. This 1969 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Supreme is a 2-door lanyard that's seen better days, but has a clean title in hand and is looking for a new home. It doesn't run at the moment, but the seller says it probably won't take much to bring it back to life. Offered at $2,000 or best offer, and they're open to trades too, so if you've got something interesting, now's your chance. These old coupes are getting harder to find, and even harder to ignore when brought back to glory. It's a sleeper project for someone with bold ideas. Every one of these classics has a second chance waiting, maybe in your garage. Got a favorite from the list? Let us know in the comments. And if you're chasing more vintage rides like these, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss the next batch of barn fresh projects. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.